Welcome to Plausible Foolishness.
Hi!
I'm Matt. I've got opinions on stuff.
What's up? I'm Ray. I've got opinions on things, and
I'm Romina.
she's got opinions today.
Yes.
I do.
And we're going to hear some of them.
Hey, welcome to the Saturday special. If you see this in my hand, it is not the ganja. We are smoking a little bit of a hookah on the show today. Not Matt, just me and Romina, so I don't want to get anybody in trouble whatsoever out there. Welcome to Plausible Foolishness, man. Two guys from Florida, not Florida man, but men who live in Florida. Me hanging out with a Floridian lady as well, and we're going to have a fun one today. So a lot of things have been going on in the news, a lot of controversy when it comes to immigration and whatnot. And we happen to have a person who legally, let's make sure we double that down. Legally migrated to the United States of America from the great country of Albania, and we want to give it up to Miss Romina. So thank you for being on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, guys.
Woo! I am so jacked up.
Thank you for driving to Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, we were here anyways.
Yeah.
We were coming here anyways.
That's okay. Just make it
So it's all right. Romina interviewed me last week on her podcast. You want to plug your podcast real quick?
Absolutely. So it's RMPodcastFL. My main mission for the podcast is just to interview different people, different backgrounds. Everybody is not a good reader, but we're good listeners, and we have a long commute, so I just interview different people from different backgrounds. We have filmmakers, we have entrepreneurs, authors, attorneys, different questions. If you guys have anything, RMPodcastFL. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Instagram, Stitcher's Radio, YouTube, and Podbeans, and also the www.rmpodcastfl.com.
Boom. Very excited, man. We're excited to have you on the show today.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
ready
you
to go.
for inviting me, guys.
Yeah.
And you're streaming to your podcast listeners right
Yes,
now.
Right now.
to the Instagram.
For you guys,
Yeah.
know that we're Plausible Foolishness. You can find us on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness. We're also on YouTube. Later after the streams, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
We're everywhere, man.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
We're everywhere. We're expanding faster than the universe right
We
now.
talk about stuff like this. We talk about the wrestling. Talk about pop culture. Whatever we want to talk about because it's our show, so deal with it.
So just deal with us, man. So here's the deal. We wanted to have Romina on for multiple reasons. Romina is she is the American dream, and this is the title of what we're talking about is American Dreams. And we talk about how awesome this country is, and we don't talk about it enough. But a lot of times we get the perspective of people who have actually been in America their entire lives, so they can't really grasp what living in another country looks like, what it feels like. We can visit all day long, but it's completely different from visiting a place versus actually residing there. And we wanted to get it from the source. The source of what it's all about. But Romina, can you give us a little bit of your story coming to America? Because we're just yokels from America, so we're whatever. We were born here and raised here, whatever. But we'd love to get the perspective of somebody who came from another country. But if you want to give us your story,
Yeah,
tell us all about
absolutely. So I'm originally from Albania, born and raised, and back in 2003, that's when my family won the DV program. If nobody knows it, is a diversity visa program. So foreign citizens can apply, and for example, my mom put for her whole family that will live with her. So it's 2-round process. USCIS does the whole selecting. So we passed the first round, we passed the second round, and then we got the American visas.
Nice.
And it's kind of different because if you just get an American visa, you just come to the customs.
Okay.
Just have your visa and you're good. But with us, we had literally like a folder per individual, and it was 4 of us. So they got our fingerprints right there. Like, we had to go to a separate line. They got our fingerprints, they got our pictures, everything. We had to wait for them to give us the okay to come in the States. That was 2005, November 9th, actually, 2005. So we stayed here for, I don't remember, like 5 months at the time.
Okay.
But my parents had worked back home, so we kind of did the back and forth, and I always heard about American Dream.
Okay.
And I've always been a little weird, that I always like challenges.
We like weird.
So, just special edition, I would say.
Yes, special edition. It's all good.
But I wanted to move to America because I just liked the idea of, like, for example, I remember first time here, it was like, I had my Social Security, I had my everything, so I was like, why can I work at, like, Kohl's, or why can I work at Sears? $8 an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm 16, like, why can't I do that? Like, that would be really awesome. I can make money at this young age, when back home you cannot really just find jobs like that.
Really?
And you can't. And even if you do, it's very hard for you to find jobs, because you have to know somebody that knows somebody, and you'd get paid like $200 per month. The living cost is much lower.
Sure.
But that's still not going to be enough. Like, the rent might be $50, $60, and then you have food, and then you have a family. So it's just like...
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to work.
Yeah.
I like this idea of just working and making my own money and, being independent.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I decided to... In my head, I was like, I want to move to America. Like, but I was 16 at the time, and it was illegal for me to live by myself, even though I know I could work and do everything. So through our friend, my dad, it's funny because the lady that, like, we used to buy the tickets, her husband was American, and he used to work in the American embassy. So she's like, well, there's this program that America does, foreign exchange students.
Okay, gotcha.
So she's like, we can apply for it. It's X amount of money, so it wasn't cheap. And my dad's like, how bad do you want it? I was like, really bad. It's like, I really want to move there. So we ended up paying, it was like $5,000.
Yeah.
It's just the fee of the program itself. So I had to wait like 2 months or almost over a year just to get a host family. And went ahead and, got a host family, moved to Chicago, Oakland, Illinois, to be more exact.
Nice.
I had to change families because there was an issue with the first one.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, like, my English is broken. This is how bad my English was, okay? Like, I would not talk in class.
Sure.
And when I met friends from, like, high school, like, 2 years ago, they're like, oh my God, you're actually nice. I was like, what? They're like, you're actually nice. You never talk, so we always thought you were like this big head person. And I was like, no, I just didn't know English. But yeah, I moved here at 17 by myself, finished my high school, went to college. My parents convinced me that pharmacy was the best degree I could get, so I tried to study for pharmacy.
There you go.
I found out I hated it.
Okay, gotcha.
Like,
it is a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, I like
but it's
talking.
A job.
I love talking. Like,
you don't
I
like
talk
filing
too
pills?
Much. No.
Okay, gotcha.
I can think of myself just in a room, just 1 or 2 people around me. Like, I work sales. Like, that's how much I like talking.
Yeah.
So, dropped out. 3 years no school. Worked different jobs.
Yeah.
Got my citizenship in 2014.
Okay.
Nice.
Moved to Florida. We will be 4 years in October, and went back to school, finishing my degree, and working sales. Doing little side things like a podcast and trying to do a nonprofit.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's me.
So you're like living the American dream.
Yeah.
So here's my first question. We've been told, here in America, we've been told how bad we are every single day. I won't say
Who tells you that?
Well, a particular party likes to tell us that America is a bad place, and that
have they ever lived in another country before?
9 times
actually experienced the hard life that another country has?
Probably not.
The answer is
probably
no.
The answer is no.
So how can you be so convenient that it's bad when you haven't experienced it yourself?
That is a great question.
Because we're not socialists. So obviously.
We're told every day that America is a bad place and that we're a blight on society and that people hate America. So before you moved to America, did you get those vibes about America, that it was this evil, rotten place?
No.
Yeah, what did you hear about America in Albania?
So I was very young. Like I said, 2005, first time I came to America, and we always had Promised Land, American Dream. I actually went to a private school that was called Wilson.
Okay.
Based on Woodrow Wilson.
There you go.
Yeah. So I learned
It's funny because Woodrow Wilson is actually one of our worst presidents.
Yeah, well.
That's
okay.
It's all good. It's all good. I want to hear it.
But that's amazing.
I actually had American professors. Like, we had 2 classes. There was communication and I forgot the other, and American history.
Okay.
So for the communication, I got to talk to this American people. Like, they literally were American residents, born and raised, and they were back home. And they would just talk about in America you can do this and this. Like, it's weird how you can not do this in here. Like, in America you get what you deserve. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So you're telling me if I give 100% of my job, I'll get 100% of the salary?
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to corrupt the boss to get my job? I was like, I kind of like that idea. But no, it was American Dream. It was Promised Land. But of course, you gotta work for it.
Yes.
Nothing gets handed to you.
Yes. So 2 things spur from that comment you just made. One, so the professors that actually were teaching you there, were they against America or were they kind of pro-America teaching?
No, they're pro-America.
So weird. So like they lived in America and then came to Albania. They got the Albanian experience.
They're passionate about helping others and actually
get to America.
Yeah. And
Crazy.
culture others about American culture and American society. Like we would learn how to play baseball. That like it's not an Albanian thing.
Sorry about that. I don't. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But like it's a part of American culture.
Yes.
So like we would get into like, hey, this is what we do in America. Like
that's cool.
You need a car in America. Here you can just walk everywhere. Like little things like that, you get more of the American experience.
Yeah. I've often noticed that when people complain about America, and I don't try to say this in an a-hole way to people, but I ask them a really simple question: do you have a passport? I always ask that.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, when people are like really anti-American, they don't have a passport. They've never actually seen other countries or been other places. And it's funny that, living in America, we hear a lot how bad America is, but then you have professors that are teaching you in your teenage years, America's awesome. We're even trying to teach you baseball, which is like our most boring sport of all time.
It is boring. It is actually boring. When I was in Chicago, at least to me.
Yeah,
when I was in Chicago, I went to a game. It was supposed to be the Cubs, and what was the other team the Chicago had?
White Sox.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was supposed to be like one of the best games out there. I was bored out of my brain. Like they're just not me.
It's a game that requires you to understand really deep
everything about it.
I watch soccer and I'm good.
For it to be interesting.
Yes. I watch soccer, I'm fine.
That's
or
funny.
Football.
That's funny.
And as an American, it makes me sick that you feel about soccer. No, I'm just kidding.
But it's such a stark...
It's okay.
It's such a
we can have different opinions.
Exactly.
But it's such a stark contrast between our education system and people that are Americans teaching in other countries, because here we're taught that America is sexist, homophobic, evil, bad.
What?
The little guy screwed over and all this stuff in America, but then when you go somewhere else and actually see what the other worlds are like...
I have friends from Turkey and Albania. They're homosexual.
Yeah.
And that's completely personal choice.
Yeah.
But they have to hide it from their family because they can literally get disowned or can literally get killed.
Interesting.
But here, you can have a voice and be accepted for who you are as an individual.
Jeez. Along that line of questioning, how are women treated in Albania versus America? Is it different or is it about the same?
Oh. Thank you for asking.
I'm just asking. I'm curious.
I would say Albania, it's 100, 200 years back to where America might have been.
Okay. So, would you say that women are treated better or worse in America than in Albania?
Much better.
Much better?
You're to tell me that I can work a job and have my own place and buy my own place, not being judged that I'm a female.
Interesting.
And literally, like, it doesn't matter if I make more money than somebody else because you work sales, so sales is straightly commission. So it doesn't matter. You get rewarded for the work you put in, no matter of your gender or your ethnicity.
Yeah.
That's fair play.
But in America, we have women's marches every year, and they wear the P hats. We'll just say P hats. You can fill in the blanks later on, but that we're told that there's a war. There's a war against women here in America. That's what we're told every day. That there's a war against women.
I don't feel that.
And you're from Albania.
Yeah, I don't feel that at
Interesting.
all. And again, I work sales, so I get rewarded for the work that I put in. So.
But even if you weren't, let's say you worked a 9 to 5, do you think that you were treated better here in America versus Albania?
I would say yes, but at the same time, I never worked a job back home besides helping my family, so I'm not just going to sit here and be like, yeah. But, like, for example, one of my very good friends back home, she literally works her A off, and...
Thanks for the edit.
You're welcome. And she literally has to work like 7 a.m., sometimes to 7 or 9 p.m., to the point that her brother was like, you need to come home not in the dark. Like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
And she just gets that set salary, but guess what? That's your job. You want to keep your job. You have to do your job.
Yeah.
When that's not the case here. It's like, I have my job. Okay, I'll work the additional. That is overtime. Because you have regulations and you have everything to play. Like, no matter what gender you are, if I work a minute past my schedule, I will get the overtime rate.
Interesting.
Back home, no.
They don't have that, huh?
No.
That's weird.
No.
So here's another thing that you were talking about. A lot of countries, a lot of people don't realize, like, you have to, like, know somebody or pay somebody off to excel in those countries.
Which is stupid. I mean, I want a job to, like, pay my bills, but I have to pay you to find me a job. I'm broke, so let me go minus 10, and then work 2 months to go back to 0, and then escalate and get more money, and then my family will struggle while we get back to 0. It just doesn't make sense.
So you'd have to pay people off to get positions.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying this is 100%. This is 80%.
Okay, but even 80% that's a like unheard of concept in America, that we have to pay someone off to get a position.
Yeah, no, you can get sued for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we have regulations.
And protections.
Yeah.
Like, we're looking out for our citizens that live here. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. We're told all the time that America's a bad, evil, rotten, terrible place, and that nobody wants to be here, yet you're saying something completely different. And what's weird is, check the accent, and she actually speaks Albanian. She's from Albania, and she's telling us this. So, for us, that's why we're looking like dumbfounded, because every single day in our media, we're told how horrible America is, how terrible it is, and
so it's like this. Can I make a comparison?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
go ahead.
You have two families, right? You have the family that can afford the bills, and the kids want an iPhone at 10 years old, which is stupid to think of. But anyways, I think they should just go outside and play. But that's a different topic. So you have the family that wants an iPhone, and he gets a white iPhone. But he gets into a fight with mom because he wants a black iPhone, right? And you have his friend at school that literally parents are working non-stop, and they're actually, to pay the bills and everything, and the guy's not even asking for a phone. He just literally wants the bills and wants quiet.
Yeah.
But the kid complains. He has it really good, but complains because X number of iPhone was not correct. When the kid is grateful for what he has. So if this kid was to go in this family, I bet you he's going to be so much better, and he's going to get more opportunities and learn more and everything. So that's what you have. And you're complaining about such a small detail and not appreciating what you have in your place compared to other places.
Yeah.
That's just a stupid analogy that I just came up with.
It's not stupid.
But it's like a most random, but that's pretty much the idea of it.
Yeah. And we talk about that a lot. We joke around about first world problems, right? Like, we always complain about the first world problems and like, it's so rough to be an American and blah, blah, blah. But like, anytime we complain, it's never in the light of other experiences and what other people experience or where they've come from and so on and so forth. Now, here's the other thing. You're an actual legal citizen here.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, like I said, DV visa program, look it up. I think USA has stopped doing that for a couple of years, but they went ahead and started again. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my question. So what do you say to, because now the pervasive idea out there is we should have no borders and we should let every single person into the United States of America. What are your thoughts on that? Because there's people like you, and I've known a lot of people like you that actually went through the entire process of becoming a citizen of the United States.
I had to wait 5 years to be eligible for the citizenship. Okay. I had to pay an attorney to help me with my documents. I was perfectly fine, but I didn't know about the documents because it's forms and everything. Mm-hmm. So I had to pay $600 an attorney, and then I had to pay the fee of almost $900 and had to wait about a year to even get my interview.
Interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
So you had to wait. You had to actually go through the process. And are you glad you went through the process to become a citizen?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, the ceremony was like one of the most emotional ceremonies I'll never forget. Yeah, and my mom and my whole family went through that, and it's like one of the most emotional ceremonies.
That's awesome.
That it just.
What did it feel like? What was it about it that made it so emotional?
Honestly, it's this feeling inside that you never thought you had. And you just feel like accomplishment and a big acceptance, and you're like if you feel like when you have permanent resident, like if you get in trouble with the law or if
you're out,
you're out, you're right away. But it's like, now I can vote, now I have all these rights, like now I'm literally like, unless run for president because I wasn't born here, but like I'm fully accepted, and it's a very genuine and like a good feeling. That's because awesome. When you do it the right way, it's like trying to win a game, but you play fair and you win it. Because if you cheat it and you win it, it's not the same feeling.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question. How do you feel about the people who are kind of gaming our system and just crossing the border into America and then expecting to be treated immediately like an American? I mean, what do you think about that? How do you feel about that? Like, because here's the deal: the mainstream media, who tells us that America's evil and bad and a horrible place, denied for a long time that there was a crisis at our border, that people were flooding into the United States.
But out of nowhere, we have a lot of crises.
But now all of a sudden, now we have a crisis. You know what I mean? So, what do you think about those people just showing up and walking through? They're claiming "quote unquote" asylum, but they're just showing up and not going through ports of entry.
Well, if you go through asylum, there is a process. It's a cycle. Like, you might have 1,000 people going through asylum. If you're the 1,000th person applying, you have to wait for the first person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's just fair.
Yeah.
But if you're just going to come here illegally, that's not acceptable. It's not. It's the word itself says illegal. Period.
Yeah.
But
there's people out there that would say, America shouldn't have borders, we should let everybody in, and so on and so forth. What do you think about that?
Sure. These people are just trying to make a better life for them.
Let me ask you this, right?
Yes.
America is a house.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, like the house we're in right now. I like it.
Yeah, the house that we're in right now.
I like it.
And the neighbor is the next country.
Yes.
Do you leave your windows and your doors open and just let them flow however they feel like it and rule your house whenever they feel like it?
Well, of course. Well, no, we have fences and locks and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we should do the same thing.
Well, I mean, that seems...
If I allow you to be my roommate or to be in my house, I should build trust and we should have a contract to place.
Sure.
In order for me to have you rent my room.
Well, you'd think that.
Well, why would I let a complete stranger rule my house?
But that's too much common sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's called common sense, but it's not really common.
Yeah,
yes,
that's true.
yes.
Not
so,
anymore.
I mean, and that's the thing is, like, this is coming from a person who legally came to the United States. It's not us Americans on our high horse saying, stay out, blah, blah, blah. We're in the country club that wants to keep that out. But it's just common sense.
Did you ever experience anybody, like, trying to keep you out of the country?
No, because I came here without papers.
Exactly.
That's weird.
And I'm not just talking about authorities, but was there ever the sense that you just weren't welcome?
Yeah.
I mean, the people that judge foreigners, but sure.
Okay, so you ran into the occasional individual.
Yeah, but I'm like, hey, this is your country, but I'm doing better than you are, and you were born here, so suck it up.
But as a culture at large...
No, people are actually more interested. They'd be like, you have an accent. Where are you from? Oh, that's awesome. Like, so how did you come here? Like, how long you been here?
And you didn't find that questioning offensive? I
just think I'm special, so they're asking
microaggression?
Microaggression.
No, not at all. I'm like, yeah, I'll talk to you about my country.
Very cool.
Not at all. It's just more of a conversation.
Yeah. So, I mean, what would you say to the people that are in our mainstream media every day saying that America is a horrible, terrible place?
It's not. You need to shut the heck up. Because it's not. Do me a favor.
Okay.
Do me a favor. In Albania, I love my country. I'll never deny it I'm Albanian.
Okay.
If you're saying America is awful, please go to Albania and live for a month. And try to find a job. And try to afford life. Just 1 month. Or make it like 2 weeks.
And while you're at it, cross the border illegally and see what happens.
Yeah. Illegally invade.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's the thing that's funny is what happens, I think, in this conversation, the immigration conversation, is the battle is always between people who have nothing to do with the situation. Of course,
everybody has an opinion.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion.
And they're entitled to their opinion.
100%. But then it's like when you actually sit down with people who legally immigrated to this country. I've never met a person who legally immigrated with this country that thought, you know what, we should have open borders and just let everybody in.
No.
I've never heard that.
I get it. I'm not, like I said, I'm Albanian and I'll never deny it.
Yeah.
But Albanian life is not the best one out there, at least for me.
Sure. Sure.
But I'm not going to sit here and be like, because I feel bad for my people, let all the Albanians come here illegally. No, I'm not going to do that.
Oh.
Because it's Albania, you have Switzerland, you have Italy, you have Germany, blah, blah,
True.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You have so many countries that people literally went through the process. For my family, we had to pay $700 per visas.
Wow.
Like, we went to the embassy to get the visas.
Yeah.
We paid the fee. Even the last moment, they're like, can you sit outside? We'll let you know if you're approved. And we're like, what?
So you don't even know.
We just literally did all this doctor's appointment to make sure we're good. We just literally paid this money. We went through all this, and now we're going to get a yes or a no.
So you could have lost that money. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had to pay for like the flight to come here.
Yeah.
We had to pay for everything.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And in America, we would take the money when you were approved, right?
100%.
Yeah, no, it was like, I'll sit outside, and we waited for like 40 minutes, and like my mom was like freaking out.
It's crazy.
Who wouldn't be?
Yeah, I mean, we felt like, okay, it's good, They're like, yeah, sit outside, we'll let you know.
How many people was this? How many people
Four
was
of
it
us.
for?
Was for family, yeah.
Wow.
The family
$2,800 just
to
gone.
go.
Yeah.
And what's the average salary? Do you know the average salary of a person in Albania?
Like $300, $400
a month. Okay. So $2,800 was a lot of money.
That's like a year's. That's a whole year's income. I mean, more than that.
Yeah.
That's two people's incomes to come here. That's insane.
You have to work to come up with that money.
That's insane. So.
And then not counting like $1,200 ticket to come here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I feel guilty now to be an American. No, I'm just kidding. It's the American guilt, man. But so like, here's the other thing I would ask you is like, what is your favorite thing about America? What do you love about being here? What's the thing that obviously the emotion of going through the process and then ultimately doing the ceremony to become American? Like, what's your favorite thing about being in this country?
I put 50% of my work, I get paid 50%. I put 100%, I get paid 100%. Like, it's whatever you put in, you get rewarded for it. Like, that's the one thing that I love. Like, I can, if I don't feel like working for a week, guess what? I'm not going to get paid for a week. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, because I work in this corporate, I feel like they should just reward me just because I'm an employee. Like, you brought zero to the table. If I was the business owner, I'd be like, you don't feel like working for a week? Okay, cool. Take your vacation, a week, and you won't get paid for it. Unless I really appreciate you as an employee. I might have PTO, I may have vacation hours. You know, every corporate is different. But you literally get rewarded for what you put in. Like, for example, my parents, they didn't speak very good English when they came in. Like, they had to work 2 jobs to afford the life here. They had to work, my dad had to work as a dishwasher and a houseman. And then my mom had to work as a housekeeper and had to work on a warehouse. Like, $8, $9 an hour. This way, they could literally work so hard so they could afford to live in a better house. And have my brother go to a better high school so he can have a better future.
Interesting. Okay.
But you put in the work and you get rewarded. Like, my dad, I remember actually, he had to wait for a while to even get the dishwasher job because the restaurant had illegal employees for a while. So.
Oops.
Yeah.
So even doubly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I pay an American citizen $8 an hour, but hey, if you work under the table, I'll pay you $7 an hour, and I don't have to file the taxes. So it's like, all right.
So illegal
and that costs
taxes,
you, and that costs
money.
Your dad
money.
A legal resident. A legal immigrant money
because of illegal immigration.
While he waited for a job that was taken by
and that was just a dishwasher.
Just a dishwasher.
Not even thinking higher jobs. That was straight up just a dishwasher and a pizza place.
That's insane.
They're not just taking our jobs.
Yeah.
They're taking legal immigrants'
jobs.
But that's the awful thing though. Like you take the jobs of employees that of residents that are literally following the law and everything. And now what's gonna happen is that you're gonna tax me more, and that tax money, where is it gonna go? Yeah, where does that go?
Interesting.
It probably goes to the food stamps for illegal immigrants at some point. It's just not fair.
She said it. We didn't.
It's just not fair.
No, but it's true. But it's true.
I literally won my money. Like, I'm the person. Like, I became that American within me.
Yeah.
I literally won all my taxes to go to veterans.
Okay.
To disabled veterans and to veterans after they come back from deployment. I literally won all of that money to go there because they struggle with their life. They have to change their lifestyle. They might go through divorce. They might go through life-changing events because they have to serve the country.
Yeah.
So literally, if you take all my taxes, I don't want it back when I retire. If you literally just give it to them, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Interesting. That's an interesting deal, bro.
Yeah.
We should be taking. Their healthcare should be.
So speaking of healthcare, one of the knocks on America is that we don't provide a universal healthcare for every one of our citizens. And we're told that we're evil because we're not like European countries that tend to do that. Was there universal health care in Albania?
So this is how health works in Albania, right? Like, my mom needed a surgery, my grandma needed a surgery. You pay the hospital fee, but they'll just have you on the waiting room. You have to go to the doctor and be like, hey, here's $300. Can you get to the freaking operation room and just, So
you had to bribe them?
Yeah.
So, but they had universal health care, correct?
Yeah.
But you still had to pay.
Yeah. It's not really universal healthcare. You just sit
weird.
there.
That's not what we're told. We're told that it's free for everybody.
No.
Interesting. Okay.
That's how the doctors are getting rich back home.
So, would your mom rather have surgery here in America?
Oh, hell yeah.
Or, Oh, okay, just wondering.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're told our medical.
I had a
care is
back
terrible.
surgery myself here in America because of car accident.
Jeez.
I was up and running the next day. Back home, that would be completely impossible.
Yeah, and you would have had to wait for whenever they got to you.
Yeah, and of course I had to pay the operation fee, the hospital fee, or probably like another $2,000 to like the doctor, just because the doctor feels like he's entitled to it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So weird. So what you're saying is, in a universal health care that's supposed to take care of everybody, you still had to pay money.
Yeah.
That's weird. We're not told that.
No.
Well, we're told that universal health care means that it's just free, and you can run in
Who's
and
lying to
immediately
you?
just go.
Who's lying?
Have you watched the news?
I watch Fox News, yeah.
Yeah, America. But yeah, I love it. No, this is firing me up. So, what do you say to so the darling of the mainstream media right now in the left? Okay, because we'll be honest, plausible foolishness. We're kind of on the right. Let's get rolling.
Oh, are you guys?
Just a little.
I haven't noticed.
Just a little bit. We're conservatarians.
We're just
really on the right. So, what do you say to people like AOC, Ocasio? What is her name?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Gotcha.
Did she ever finish her bachelor's?
I have no clue.
I have no.
Because I know she just went from bartender to. Did she ever finish her bachelor's?
But she's a perfect story of America. She was a bartender. Now she's in Congress, and now she's
American dream. But
American
she's
dream.
She's not doing it for the right purposes.
Yeah, but it's American dream. But then America's bad. Like, that's what I don't understand. So
yeah.
What do you say?
I mean, in America, a bartender can become a
sitting member of
a
Congress.
congressman.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's literally the American dream. So why don't you just motivate others and celebrate others and actually support others to do better with their life? Just like you went from a bartender to, and I have nothing against bartender.
Well, that's the thing is, like, there's this negative stigma.
So
like,
many jobs.
The average person, doesn't have what it takes to be a politician. And so you have to have graduated from an Ivy League
Yale,
university,
Harvard,
and you need to be, the upper, the upper crust of society, the cream of the crop, and it's like, no, that's not America.
No,
America, you can be anything you.
Yes.
I'm not gonna sit here though and just be like, oh, just because I came to America legally and like I don't feel like working or like my head hurts, I should get food stamps. That's another topic. Don't get me started with that. Like, I worked so many different jobs. I will literally run you through the jobs that I've done.
Okay.
I worked as a server.
Okay.
Okay. I worked as a babysitter.
Okay.
I worked as a tutor.
Okay.
I worked as a CNA. So I literally worked as an assistant on a senior living facility. And that job disgusted me. But guess what? I had bills to pay, so I have no shame on my game.
Sure.
And then I worked sales.
Okay.
Car sales. And I worked door-to-door sales. Yes, I would be the lady knocking on your door trying to sell you stuff.
What?
You slam the door in my face, I'd be like, have a great day, and go about my day.
See you
not
later.
even worried. And then I work other type of sales. I work indoor sales.
Yeah.
Like, I have absolutely no shame on my game.
Yeah.
If I have my bills to pay, I will literally work and I will literally pay my bills.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, feel bad for me and let me sit in my house because I don't feel like working and send me a check every week.
But it sounds like you actually take pride in the process of working hard. Like, you take pride in that.
You know how good that coffee feels when you pay with your money? And you actually, like, know the money, like, you organize it better and you manage it better when it's your money.
Okay, gotcha.
I can literally, like, you can literally win the lottery, and statistically, so I'm actually doing the book, Doing the Impossible.
Yeah.
By Pat Davis. If you guys haven't read it, please do so. It's really good.
Okay.
He talks about, he came to America actually with asylum. He's from Iran originally.
Okay.
And he talks about statistically proven people that win the lottery are, like, their lives are going to go even worse after the lottery has been won.
Interesting.
Yeah,
because it's not
within
your
like
money.
5 years, they go bankrupt.
Because it's not your money, so you're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not spending my money. But if you work hard for your money and you take pride for your money, oh yeah, you're going to manage that money much better.
Yeah, interesting. So, yeah, so like...
Especially you work and then you get the taxes out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, hearing your story, so it's almost like in Albania, and this is not every country, obviously, in the world, but like, there are a lot of countries very similar to Albania that came out of a communist regime from before. Obviously, like, your parents experienced the communism and so on and so forth.
My mom was like sophomore in college.
Do your parents wish Albania was still a communist country? I mean, I'm honest. I'm being honest because we're told that communism and socialism are the way to go for America.
No.
And there's sane people, most of us are telling people to go kick rocks that are saying that. So would you say that your parents were happier in a communist-ruled Albania versus, let's say, America, that we're here now?
So I would say, and I'm going to talk for them for a
Sure.
second, they like rules and they like regulations, but they wouldn't like communism.
Interesting. Why?
Because rules and regulations keeps checks and balances.
Yeah.
But not communism.
Okay.
Like, I remember my mom would always tell a story, like, her friend of a family, like, Coca-Cola, like, the bottle.
Yeah.
Like, we were not allowed, well, they were not allowed back in time to, like, even know what was out of the world. And Coca-Cola was supposed to be a poison. Like, they will convince you, like, it's this. So it's like, only your country, that's it. We're not gonna elaborate with other places.
Yeah, but Matt would agree with you. He's a Pepsi guy, so.
I'm kidding. And sugar is poison.
I'm just kidding.
I don't drink none of them. So I'm a coffee person, that's it.
So anything outside of Albania was bad?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what you get told.
That's interesting, because we're told that everything in America is bad and everything outside is better. That's what we're told.
So why don't you just go there then?
That's a great question.
Yeah, if you hate it this much, why don't you go? I'm sure there are some countries that would accept you taking you in.
I mean, that's the whole premise of this whole conversation is, and what I'm getting from this conversation is, like, at the end of the day, like, you're not dissing Albania, but you're...
No, like I said, I'll never deny I'm Albania.
Yeah, but you're massively grateful for where you are now.
Absolutely. Would I do it again, move at 17 by myself? Probably move at 15 this time.
Yeah, and there's going to be people that...
Absolutely.
And there's people that'll watch this and they'll be like, "Oh, this is an allegory. This is just one girl's journey, and it's not indicative of everybody that moves to this country legally." But the problem is, I keep hearing the same story from people who legally immigrated here.
Yeah.
And I never really hear the stories from people who illegally immigrate here because they try disappear in the shadows when they get here. So
I hear this podcast, and this is just one of the examples. I hear this other podcast. It's The Crime Junkie.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard of it. It's literally like two girls covering like unsolved cases.
Okay.
One of the cases that was unsolved, actually, it was about a girl being kidnapped, and everybody thought it was like the family members, but it didn't end up being so. Long story short, 20 years later, an illegal immigrant gets arrested. They run the DNA. It actually matches with the kidnapping and the body that was found on her room.
Interesting.
But, of course, he wasn't documented, so they couldn't solve the problem, and they couldn't find the girl that was kidnapped and bring it back to her family, but she had to die at a very young age.
Yeah.
But if you have everything documented, if you have everything fingerprinted like you do once you come to the borders and everything, guess what? That case might have been solved. That girl might have still been here.
True.
So they're just another example of why everything needs to be documented.
Yeah, and that guy might have never made it in here because at the end of the day, they're
and that's another topic too.
Yeah. So like people like that.
Like, who are you to cut the life? And I'm not saying all the illegals are bad. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to talk about the importance of everything being documented and everything knowing like how much like 1, 2, 3. This is what we have.
Yeah.
If you come illegally, there's no other way I can track you down. I don't even know you're in here.
You'd be pro a citizenship question on the census.
Yeah.
Seems simple.
You're such a hate monster.
You're so hateful. You sound so hateful, Romina. I mean, it's like crazy.
I have opinions.
She has opinions on things. But that's the thing too, is like what we're talking about here is not hate. It's not malice. It's not looking down on other people. Like, I feel like in America, we celebrate other cultures. We're excited about other people coming in. Because I remember, the reason why you touched my heart a little bit is one of our foreign exchange students was Albanian. So, like, when I was a junior, I forget her full name, but she was from Albania. She was hilarious, so funny, awesome girl. We had a Japanese girl that came in. We had 2 German guys come in. And that was so enriching as an American to have...
Little Troy, Ohio?
Little Troy, Ohio. Wow. Little Troy, Ohio. Yeah, but they got mad at us because we're a private school.
No, but the Midwest is like,
so backwards and
evil. Well, people, when they think about America, they think sky-high buildings and they think of Hollywood and everybody just being like, oh my god, so like fancy. And then you come here and you're like, no, like...
Hey, we're regular people.
There's regular people out there.
It's weird.
Yeah, just another world and just another, you have to work for whatever you want.
But yeah, like
but you'll get a fair shot.
Yeah, I tended to hang out with the foreign exchange student kids. I love the kids that came from foreign exchange students. Girl from Venezuela, a guy from Puerto Rico, even though that's really not another country, but it's a different culture, whatever. But I loved that enrichment because I felt I got to know more of their culture. I felt more well-rounded. It encouraged me to go see other countries.
You learn more.
Yeah, like when I was 16, I went to Japan for the first time, Philippines for the first time. And, going to the Philippines, I got a real sense of what third world is and what first world is. And when I came back to America, I was infinitely more grateful to be here in this country after that experience because you actually see what other countries go through and what people struggle for. Like, people working multiple jobs in each of the countries.
You realize you take stuff for granted in your own place and you complain when you're like, oh, I have it so good, I don't even know it.
So when I see, like, mainstream media, because they would never post this on mainstream media because, God forbid this is truth, you see people on CNN and MSNBC and sometimes even Fox News are hyperbolic as well, but like talking about other countries or talking about us in comparison to other countries, I laugh because I'm like, these people have clearly never been to other countries or they're lying. They're either a liar
or if they have,
or they just don't know.
If they have, they've only stayed in the nice parts of town.
It's
exactly.
Just so much money being wasted right now, I feel like, at the borders because you have all the liberals being like, yeah, come on in, you can do whatever you want. Like, you have, like, I literally want to live the life of one of the officers and see what struggles they go with.
Yep.
Because you have so many people coming here illegally and they try to blame the president or they try to blame this and that. But guess what? Those kids and those parents came here by themselves. Trump didn't call them or another person didn't call them like, hey, come at our borders. You might die, but it's up to you. They did them themselves.
But there are reports that...
No, like, why are you blaming who is in charge?
Sure.
Of course it's his Of course it's his fault. You're in charge.
Well, here's the thing. There's reports that there are people... running, like, I remember during the Obama administration, there were advertisements running in South American countries urging people to come to America.
Yeah, just jump the border. But not do it legally, just do it.
And it's funded by people like your George Soroses and your...
Oh, talking about Soroses, so...
I had to do it, but it's true. It's not even conspiracy theory at this point.
So actually my dad really loves politics.
All right,
so
I like it.
Just a little input. So we had elections in Albania, and Soros actually contributed into elections.
Wait, George Soros? Contributed in your elections?
Yeah, to corrupt them.
That's weird. That seems a little globalist to me.
So
a little New World
Order. The
president
of Albania and Soros are having another debate because Soros has so many foundations and so many businesses running the Mediterranean that, it's on his benefit to win the election because he can control the people.
Interesting.
There's actually a big, look it up, Albania and Albanian president and Soros. Look it up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this is the best interview we've had on this show ever.
That's good.
Just because...
Well, there's a lot of insights,
But it's true.
I don't tend to follow Albanian politics because I'm too busy doing my own stuff.
She's
You're out there making that money.
Yeah.
Money.
I have goals. But,
Sorry, you just triggered me. I went back. I went back a couple years. Goals?
I knew exactly what you were doing. But...
Sorry, we got mine.
But yeah, my dad was actually reading about it for the Albanian news, and I was like, this is interesting. So I looked it up online, and actually Fox
covered it.
I do see Fox. Fox covered it.
What? No way, man. That's crazy. But
he has so many thousands and millions of dollars they're laundry through the Mediterranean businesses that he wants them to win. Yeah,
he's a multi-billionaire.
But 5 years ago, that was conspiracy theory, but now it's fact. That's you know what I mean. And I hate to always plug Infowars, but
is it like the other
Infowars,
one?
Infowars talked about
his
this.
Name?
Forgot. Alex Jones.
No. What's the other one that's disappeared now? That was just a conspiracy theory 5 years ago, but now he ended up having an island.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Exactly. It was a conspiracy theory, and then it's true. It's weird. So and
he was actually convicted and got a slap on the wrist, and then was just...
So, I did some research on that one. So, I found it very weird that in New York, so if you're a sex offender, you have to go to the police station. And David, you were an officer, you can correct me.
David, got it.
Sorry for calling you out, man. But he was a sheriff for the longest time. If you're a sex offender, you have to report to the police station every month, right? But apparently
Yes.
the court overrode it just for him. And he's the only person in the whole history that they overrode that he did not have to show in New York in the court for every month anymore. He was still registered as a sex offender, but he did not have to report. Which is the only person in American history. So that's interesting.
It sounds a little bit like Albania.
And that's why they want us to be more communistic. But yeah, dude, this has been such a good talk. I really appreciate this talk.
I didn't think we would talk about Soros there for sure.
Yeah, it's okay. We went that way.
I do have one question.
Huh.
This is a complaint that I've heard about our immigration system,
go
that it's hard to get in, it's hard to stay here, and it's too hard to stay here, and it's too hard to get to citizenship. Do you think that there should be some reforms in those areas?
So, for me, speaking personally, it wasn't too hard for me to get my citizenship. I followed the rule. You have to live in America 5 years, no more than 180 days outside of U.S. territory. There's so many, like, okay, why do you want to come to America? You have the DV program, you have asylums.
Yep.
If you fall in love with a foreign citizen, you can get married to them
Green
and they
card.
can bring it here.
Work visa, you can come here and work visa.
Work visa. Like my ex-husband, for example, he wanted to live in America. Like he was Turkish, he loved America, so he had to go back home. His visa expired, his student visa expired, he had to go back home. And through a program, he was actually hired in a logistic company here, and he came here with a regular visa.
Yeah.
And we got married. That's a different topic, so that's something else.
It's okay.
But my thing is that there are so many programs and there are so many options for you to be here.
Yeah.
Like, literally, open a business, and if your business is successful, America will be like, "Welcome to America. Here's a green card."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and to your question, Matt, the people that keep saying it's hard to immigrate, they're comparing it to just crossing the border. Because that's easy. It's easy just to cross the border. And not saying it's not easy, because obviously it's a perilous journey and blah, blah, blah. But it is relatively easier to not spend your hard-earned money and just show up versus actually going through the actual process of doing what you're going to do.
Sure.
It's like,
Well, I had a friend that worked with me at Best Buy. And cool dude. Super cool dude. Loved America. He I mean, there's the voices out there in the pundit sphere and in the politician sphere that are obviously saying these things.
Yeah.
He compared it to Canada's immigration system, which sounds a little more streamlined, where you go there and it's instead of it being like a 5-year process, it was like a 1 or 2 year process where they really watched you to see if you were a productive member of society.
Okay.
And
I would stick with the 5 years, though, because that's when you really prove that you are important to the society, and that's when you really prove you want to be here.
Yeah.
Because 1 to 2 years, you might just want to have another citizenship in your pocket for whatever reason and go back to your country, because there are some states that allow you to have dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Like I withdrew my Albanian citizenship when I got the American citizenship.
Yeah.
Like 5 years, I went through the process. I wish it was overnight, but thinking back logically, I'm like, no, it should be 5 years.
okay.
Yeah.
Now,
And it still allows you 180 days outside of the territory if you want to visit your family back home or whatever.
That's nice.
That's it? Only 180 days? I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I mean, if you want
That's a
more,
lot.
sure.
That's only 6 months.
6 months? No big deal.
You worked a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Did you find it difficult to find work being just a green card holder or whatever?
No.
Okay. So,
No, I mean, there's so many recruiting websites out there. You literally jump in the computer,
basically
make a resume, and be productive.
we have
and
institutions ready and waiting for legal immigrants to find work
In America.
to help them assimilate and become productive members of society.
I don't think I was ever unemployed longer than a month, and that was probably by choice.
Interesting.
I mean, like I said, I have no shame on my game.
So
I want
America
the most
wants-
random jobs ever.
So America's not anti-immigrant. We want immigrants.
We actually do. We just want people to do it the right way. God forbid.
How dare you?
How dare us, you evil
So we
American.
don't want your first act on American soil to be
Break the
breaking
law.
our laws.
No.
God, we're evil!
Evil! We're so evil.
America!
America just sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think I've ever said that out loud, ever. It's like I refuse to say that out loud. Like that was complete.
Oh, America's
total,
awesome.
America's a beautiful place.
I love it.
Yeah, Liz, I got a lot out of this.
I was
man.
so close to join the military too.
Really? I can see you.
Okay,
Yeah.
tell us.
Tell us about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was
you're
close
an
to join the
Albanian.
Navy.
Thinking about joining
Is
the
this
Navy of the United States of America.
Post-citizenship or pre?
Post.
Post, okay.
No, post citizenship.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's even
That
possible
was,
pre-citizenship. I guess not.
It is.
It is? Okay.
It is, as long as you're here legally. It is.
If you're here illegally.
It's not.
Okay, as long as you're here legally, you can join the military.
Yeah.
And does that like fast track you towards citizenship?
Yeah, it actually, if you join the military on a green card, I know a guy that he was British, and he joined the military while he was with his green card, and because he had to be a citizen, they fast forward everything.
That's
Interesting.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But he came here, normal papers.
Okay, so you wanted to be, why didn't you? Or what was your thinking at the time? Tell us the whole...
I know, I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to join the Navy.
Okay.
I moved to Jacksonville, it'll be 4 years now.
Florida.
And that was after my divorce. Kind of make the long story short, a lot of things happened. I just packed my stuff and left, and I said, see ya.
See ya. All right.
And I was here. I was like, I don't know what the heck I want to do with my life. Like, I get it. I'm in America. I have options. But I was like, I literally, like, don't know. Like, I kind of hit rock bottom there. I had dropped out of school. I worked sales. I worked all those careers just to pay bills.
Yeah.
I had not been smart enough thinking about a future. And then I found out that Jacksonville has a great big Navy.
Yeah, big Navy. Yeah.
Mayport.
Yep.
So I actually looked into it, and I was like, what if I just join the military? I was like, that should be really interesting. And then...
Which is a dangerous job, by the way.
Yeah,
if you're going into the military service, the implication is you could possibly die in service of our country.
That's okay.
But you were willing to do that.
Yeah.
For this evil country.
The only reason why I did that is because my parents freaked out of the idea of not having me home and not knowing where I was and not seeing me for a long time because I lived away from them for like 5 years. They're like, finally you just joined us and you're living, and like my mom got so dramatic, so I was like, okay, I guess I want.
It's all right.
But I was about to, yeah.
That's awesome.
And I wanted to do logistics in the military.
But you were willing to do that for our country.
Yeah.
For your country now.
Yeah.
That's awesome. A lot of people won't even be. I think, what is it? It's only like 1% of our population is actually in the military. Hi.
Sorry, my phone just went. Hi, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon. What's up, girl? But that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
So, man, this has been a fun conversation.
I agree.
Yeah, and I was in the shape and everything back then.
What?
Yeah.
You're still in shape.
No, but like, you know how you have to run like a certain miles in a certain time. No, like legit, I thought about it.
I feel you.
And I was like, if I do, like, I was like, they have the 5-year contract, and then close to the 5 years and the 4 years, they have the other contract. Like, how long do I want to stay in there for? Like, what do I want to do?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is a cool deal.
That's why I'm very passionate when it comes to like, you know, veterans. Yeah.
Military, amen, man. That's.
Let me ask you a question. You said you. I don't want to get too into the nitty gritty of what happened, but you said that you just packed your things and you left. Is that possible in Albania?
You got jokes.
Well, I'm serious.
We're asking serious questions.
Well, we want. I mean,
we're told that every other country is the land of milk and honey, and that America is oppressive and evil.
Yeah,
and
I mean, especially towards women.
Yeah, that's
the
what we're told.
war on women. I'm guessing that doesn't happen too often.
No.
That people have to stay in their crappy
I'll walk you
situations.
through this, right?
Yeah.
I got divorced. Long story short, it was because of infidelity.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm too pretty for that.
Fidelity, the company? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, gotcha. I'm so sorry. It's like, dang it, Fidelity.
We're gonna blame the bank.
I invest with you guys. Dang it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I have my 401k with you people. Like, yeah, they went negative.
Broke up your marriage.
Sorry.
No.
I had to do it. I'm sorry. It's plausible foolishness.
It's fine.
I bring the plausible out of the
on
foolishness.
my
Those evil insurance
podcast.
companies.
Yeah.
It's always them. It's never you. Okay, we're
goodness.
back on. Sorry.
Back on. It's all right.
So, I think my phone is getting too warm, so it just keeps stopping. Okay. So, yeah. So I packed my stuff and I left. I moved to Florida.
Okay.
I had moved out of my parents' house at 17 and knocked on their door when I was 24 years old, like in 2 in the morning, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
This is not fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that one first year, I turned into, like, a little alcoholic.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
Yeah, like, I'll be very honest. I have no shame in it.
Amen.
Like, I am who I am today because of that.
Preach.
And that's what I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. So I was like, maybe I'll just join the military. So I did more research, and that's when the military came about.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I ended up finding a job, sales, door to door.
Door to door, those scumbags.
I know. How dare they?
It was coming, we're eating dinner.
Does he? Those scumbags.
It's a lot of people think negative about it.
Yeah.
I've been invited to so many dinners.
Oh, I know. I've been taken care of. I love it.
I was at a pool party. I was supposed to work, and we had 2 sales days. So if you make 2 sales, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I literally just made my 2 sales and went back to the family, and they're like, we have you guys' services, but we have a pool party if you want to go. I just want to jump in the pool and just had a pool party for the rest of the day. Like,
That's awesome.
With random people.
That's hilarious.
People are, but
Americans,
that's the thing.
too.
That's the thing. American people are so welcoming. You know what I mean? And we're trained to think that everyone's evil and out to get us and blah blah blah. And everybody hates you.
If you
They're
think
not.
the negative,
There's
you'll
some
find
people
the
like
negative.
me who just want to be left alone.
And that's fine. But that's not the
You know?
majority.
And I understand that people, they're out there trying to make their living, and if it's a great deal, it's a great deal.
Yeah.
But then on the other token, I just want to stay in my
Bro,
home.
and listen.
That's where.
And then I'm out here on the internet.
Yeah.
Podcast. I don't understand it.
So that's not just you though. That's where you get the 10-80-10 rule
Yep.
for sales. Like
Yep.
the first 10% of people, it's gonna be what's called apples. So it's like whatever you pitch them, they're gonna buy it, and they're
Yep.
gonna be like, just because my neighbor has it, I want to
Yes.
have it. And that's the people that have bad credit score, or that's the people that cannot afford life, because they literally just buy everything that is available out there. The 80% of the people, you have the people that will buy it, but they want to know more about the product. They want to know more about why should I buy it,
Yeah.
what's the pros, what's the cons, what are the reviews. Like, they would be the logical people. And the other 10% would be the people that literally I can be like, hey, your Corolla is dying. Let me get you a new Corolla. Like this, literally, let me give it, even if I give it to you for free, be like, no.
I have the cure for
I don't
cancer.
want it.
No, I'm good.
But if I run for president, I'll show it to you guys.
I love it. So
It's like, I'm going to be an evil person, though, so. But only if you select me, I'll
Yeah.
help y'all people.
but life changes radically on you here in America,
Yeah.
and it wasn't the end of the world for you.
No.
You have like opportunity. You moved to a different part of the country.
Yeah.
You did different things, and you were able to be successful in spite of that. I mean, would that happen in Albania if
No, my family back home, straight up, my family back home judged me why I left my husband. But guess what? It's my life, so I can make a choice.
Yeah.
Back home, a lot of families don't get the choice for the
Interesting.
female to walk away
Yeah.
and try to start over, or for the male to start over.
Well, there's
just
not as much
because-
opportunity for them if they tried to start
No,
over.
you have
Yeah.
to start from scratch.
Yeah, so basically it
And
means
scratch-
moving back in with the
Scratch in
family.
America is 0. Back home is -20.
yeah, okay.
So, let's say the person did leave, they would have to move back in with their parents.
Yeah,
And
like I
become a
did.
burden again on that
Yeah.
economic sphere.
And then the family would be ashamed of what the family would say, what the neighbors would say, why your girl came back home. It would be considered the girl was a little used because she was married and now she's not married. So it's like,
so finding
she's
a new
female,
person,
so
finding a new
we're
mate
going to
would be
punish
difficult.
her,
Yeah,
you know.
geez.
We just need to find her a husband and get her out of the
All
house
the way
again.
around, it's a terrible
it's a bad spot.
situation.
Yeah.
But America, you could just restart.
Yeah.
War on women, folks.
War on women. It's not here. It's
I'm like,
not
that's
here.
me. I went through that.
Yeah.
Like it? Cool. Don't like it? Bye.
It's crazy.
But
Man.
yeah, America allowed me to go through, was there and allowed me to
Yeah.
start over from scratch pretty much. And
That's awesome.
I remember reading a quote that rock bottom is the best solid foundation you can find, and that's mine. I was
100%.
like, all right. Why was it 17 years old? Now it's at 24 years old.
Amen. Amen. I love it. Man, we got some good stuff out of this
Yeah,
one,
we
bro.
do.
You have any more questions for Miss Romina?
Not off the top of my head.
Dude, I've learned a lot about Romina, and I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. We got fed crepes. It's Romina's mom's birthday. We've got hookah. We've been taken care of, man, here in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And the day's just starting. Which is crazy.
What is
So-
that? It's not even 11 yet, is it?
No, I don't even know what time it is. I have no clue.
I don't know.
It is 12:18.
Hey, Well, we really appreciate you guys for watching Plausible
Yes.
Foolishness Saturday special, which was awesome. It was great to talk to Miss Romina. She gave us a lot of insights. We really appreciate you for being on the show. She has the great podcasting voice, which is great. We love having her on here. You class up the joint, Romina. You're classing up the joint right here. So you're making us scrubs, us bearded bros look a lot better and stuff like that. So which is good.
Plug your stuff.
Yeah, plug it.
Yeah,
plug away.
so RMPodcastFL. You'll find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitchers Radio, YouTube, Podbean. We also have our website, www.rmpodcastfl.com, and a little cool, awesome thing also on Instagram. Duh.
Yep, Insta.
If you guys have any questions or just want to reach out, definitely rmpodcastfl@gmail.com. That's very simple to remember. And we have interviews every Tuesday from people with different backgrounds. And we have Thursdays and Fridays. We typically have bonus episodes starting now and on, which is going to be different sales techniques. It's going to be different tips and tricks, whatever we can do to share and help everybody.
That's awesome.
And yeah.
You interviewed
Ray.
Your boy Ray.
Yeah, it's already up there.
Me?
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm on there?
You're on there.
It is. We covered a lot of great material with Ray, so I actually split it to 2 different episodes.
I'm sorry they have to listen to me that much. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You learn a lot.
Sorry.
But Ray, though, honestly, if you haven't read his rule defined by definition, please take a moment and read it. Definitely beg you to take a moment and read it because it's such great material in there, honestly.
It didn't suck?
No.
Yes.
It
I
was
didn't
really
fail.
good.
I didn't fail. Yes.
I love reading. I used to make fun of people that read a lot, but now I'm the nerd. Like, I need to change my glasses because I'm reading all the time.
I love it. Well, guys, we really appreciate you guys for watching on this special. We're on Twitch, obviously. Make sure you check us out on Twitch. That's where we're really going to start building again over on this side on Twitch. So it is twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness. Obviously, we're going to still throw some stuff over on YouTube, but our primary focus is going to be on Twitch. If you really, really like us, make sure you check us out on Patreon. We really appreciate our Patreons for keeping the lights running and kicking butt there. Remember, you can always donate on Twitch. Like us everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yes, we are on TikTok. Don't judge me. I'm an old guy on TikTok. I like it a lot. But really, just keep following us.
Reach all audiences.
Hey, we're trying to be everywhere. We're universal, man. We're solvent. We're like water. So we want to help everybody out, and we really appreciate you guys so much for watching today. Matt, you got anything else for the peoples?
Peace out.
Peace out. Love you guys.
RMPodcastFL. Bye.
Bye. That was good. Good job,